Traci, I have had more fun watching you with your three adorable sons on your YouTube channel. I've got four boys. They never wanted to appear doing anything like that with me. How did you even get them to do it?
Oh, I twisted their arm and
Good.
I pulled their ear. I'm like, you have to do it.
Well, it's adorable. Now, let me tell you how we met Traci to all our viewers right now. Actually, Jay Rodriguez met you. He's my partner in the mornings, and you were serving some of your amazing salsa at HEB, right?
Yes. Yes.
He sampled some. You guys struck up a conversation. You've become fast friends, and Jay just said, "You've got to interview her. She's an amazing cook, a great mom. You would love her. She'd be great for your Houston Women podcast." And I've been, texting you, and I'm so glad you agreed to appear.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I absolutely love y'all's show. I love your energy. So I am just tickled pink. Even though I don't like the color pink, I'm tickled pink to be here today.
How did you get to this point? I mean, you've got these three gorgeous boys. You're a busy mom. What made you come up with? And we have in our Tell Me Something Good mentioned other Houston area phenoms who have come up with salsas, chips, whatever it is. Some Truth Barbecue. And how did you kind of turn your life into this direction?
Yeah, so we were a normal suburban family, sports, church choir, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
And my middle son had a passion for rhino conservation, so much so that he asked for his friends to bring donations for rhino conservation in lieu of gifts to his birthday parties. So at the same time, I had this salsa that I would give away to teachers and neighbors at Christmas time, and we would refer to it as Salsa Diablo Verde.
Wow.
So those two things were going on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 years into his rhino conservation efforts or his fundraising efforts, I turned to him and I said, you know what? I think we could raise even more money if we started selling Mom's creamy cilantro sauce. So it was actually Luke and I, the middle son, that we started first, and we started just making it out of our kitchen at night. We put flyers around the neighborhood and at the school. And when the teachers, especially the girl coaches, started buying it like it was essential, not only for their life existence, but for their weekly happy hours.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
I was like, I think we have something. And so we basically asked his brothers to come on board. And we said, if you help us launch Diablo Verde, then whenever it's time to launch more products, we will help your animal cause. So we have 6 SKUs now. 3 of them are Diablo Verde, and they give back to rhino conservation. And we've raised almost $20,000 over the last 10 years.
Amazing.
That's with Luke's birthday parties and with our business.
Right.
And now we've just came out with Diablo Vegan during a pandemic, and that's for wolf conservation. And we donate to St. Francis Wolf Sanctuary here in Texas.
That's just beautiful. How did the kids, obviously they get so much from mom and dad, but where did the rhino, did he see a documentary? I mean, what is being done to rhinos is tragic. How did he find out about rhinos?
He loves to read. He is the kid at school that would get in trouble reading books during class.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like he's reading.
I know. What's the problem?
I know. So, he just he just read about it, and we talked about it at home. I believe my job as a mom is to raise men, not boys. And so, there's no subject that's off limits. Of course, when they were younger, we would tone it down for their age, but definitely, I want to get them prepared for life. So yeah, there's no subject that's, off the books.
Limits. Yeah.
Off limits. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
So basically he learned about it and just became concerned. Why he identifies with rhinos, I know that you'll relate to this because you have boys. He's just one of those big kids that likes to, ram into things.
Like all boys. Yeah. Uh-huh. All my boys into each other, actually.
Yeah,
and that's why they became hockey players. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that he took this passion and then, sought help from mom, and you had the idea, because moms, we want to make sure we foster our kids' passions. And the fact that you're doing these salsas, you know, how did you even, how did you get involved in this salsa creation? Is this just your passion? Did you have a mom or dad who made salsa and it's a recipe that you've passed down?
No, no. I mean, I had a Cajun father and a German mother, and I'm sixth generation Texan. So to me, Tex-Mex is my favorite food.
Right,
You know?
right.
But we eat a lot of fish tacos here at the house. And when you go to the restaurant, there's that awesome creamy cilantro sauce that
Yes.
you have. And there was just nothing on the shelves of the grocery stores that had that fresh flavor. And so I just started making it, and it was everybody's favorite. Everybody would always, ask me for some, so yeah. So basically, and I love food. I mean, I love healthy food. I love that the cilantro expels heavy metals from your system, right?
Yes.
I love that garlic is really healthy for you. Like when you're sick, have some chicken soup with lots of garlic in it. I love the healing properties that food helps
Yeah,
with.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
And
especially during the COVID, food boosts your immune system if you eat properly.
yes, yeah. So we do eat a high vegetable diet. I mean, we're not vegetarians. I'm not vegan. The reason we came out with Diablo Vegan is because I saw a need in the market for a great vegan sauce. But yeah, so I've always loved food, and I love putting fresh food together, and not using a lot of fats and things like that. I
Yeah.
want healthy food that tastes great. So
How did you get from making it into your kitchen to actually, it's now on a production line and you're selling it at HEB and maybe other places?
yeah, so basically we started in our kitchen when we invited his brothers on board to start the business with us. Then we had to research what the rules were, and at that time you could not make salsa out of your own house, so we had to get a small commercial kitchen.
Right.
It was a tiny little commercial kitchen with a window unit. The littlest one was 8 years old when we started. So yeah.
Wow.
So basically we were in this tiny little kitchen making each jar by hand, and that lasted for the first, I think, gosh, 2 years of our business. We were
Right.
in that tiny kitchen. And when the boys were in school, I would hire help to go in there.
Yeah.
But the first time we went in there, we made 60 jars. So
Man.
by the time we were done with the commercial kitchen, we were making about 300 jars at a time. But yeah, we started in that small commercial kitchen. We loaded up the sauce. We would go to farmers markets, and then we would
Good.
visit just different independent stores around us.
And then you start making money because more and more people, word gets out. And how did you do the thing with HEB?
So that was actually our Diablo fans. So our Diablo fans, okay, so the HEB that I met Jay at,
Right.
that's HEB Pin Oak out here in Katy.
Know it well.
And
Yep.
so so Randall is the manager there. And basically our Diablo fans ask him to bring Diablo into his store. And so
Because
it's
HEB
called,
they encourage local people
yes,
to bring their products. Yeah, that's
yeah,
excellent.
they do. And it's such a great store. And I basically I met Jay. I mean, that was the very first HEB that we were in. They were so nice I mean, they gave us an end cap, which is really hard to get in the industry. And so yeah, I would just go there every week, and I would demo and demo and demo. And yeah, I met Jay and his wife. I think it was a Sunday, and and then we just started following each other on Instagram, and he's just been so supportive and so nice.
He uses your sauce all the time. Jay does all the cooking in his house, and he's just like, you just are going to love this sauce. So I thought, well, that is just excellent. I mean, you've got quite a talent for this. And I'm looking behind you. If you go to Traci's YouTube, and what's the name of the YouTube channel with your boys? It is hysterical.
3SonsFoods.
You've got flowers. I noticed your flowers in all these videos. You've got the hydrangea. I see your sunflowers now, and the sauce is right behind you. I mean, you've got the staging down. And you must love this part of your life. It's getting that creativity out, right? Were you always in this cooking, or did you have another job that you were doing that you stopped to focus on this?
So when I actually started this business, I was married,
Uh-huh.
and, we had some rental homes. I come from a background of real estate, and, also theater. But, I actually got divorced right at the beginning of starting this business. So
Wow.
pouring myself into this, you know, when you get divorced and you've been a stay-at-home mom, you don't have a lot of choices because you've been maybe out of the market for a while as far as
Yeah.
working. And so I just poured myself into this, and I just jumped off the cliff. And, one thing that a lot of entrepreneurs, it's not an easy path being an entrepreneur. I do suffer from anxiety,
Yeah.
and that does come from a place of fear, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I've had to teach myself, with lots of help and, different friends and things like that, but teach myself how to identify what I'm fearing and how to deal with that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean,
Okay, stop right there because I was just, it's so funny. I was just talking to I've got these four kids, and one of them is my little sage, my fourth child. And he's just so insightful. I say my struggle in life right now is being the mom of adult children who have spouses. And I said that so much of my life, was I'm a very hands-on mom. And in so many areas, I can see that I projected my fear onto my children, and deep fears, from the way that I was raised, all these issues. And so you have to identify. My sage Mitch says, Mom, well, at least you identified that you've got fear. And I go, yeah, I guess so. How did you identify the fear, and then how do you cope with it? How do you not pass that fear onto your three boys? Because the
I
kids
don't know if
see it.
I
They see it, you know?
I'm open with them.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
am very open with them when I'm feeling anxious. One thing about having a business with any business partners,
Right, right.
you have to let the egos down. You have to learn how to apologize. You have to,
Good.
especially working in that tiny kitchen. I mean, the sauce is not the only thing that got hot, right?
Right.
And so,
Right.
having to have that open dialogue with them has helped. Now, have I passed my fears on to them? Wow, that's I don't know. That's deep.
That might be a to be determined, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to think on that, and yeah, and pray on that tonight.
Pray on that because, I'm telling you now, I didn't know that I was doing it, and now that they're grown, sometimes, the patterns of your family come back to haunt you when you're grown. You think, oh, that's all in the past. Not when they're bringing in a person from outside the family and they've got kids and pressures of life. And then the way that they were raised, the way that you were raised, the way that I was raised, it kind of comes back and you're going, whoa, that's
Right.
not good. So
Yeah.
it's something to think about. And I always brought my kids to my work, to my appearances. I always involved them, and it was being transparent, and it was sharing my anxieties with them, which I think kept us a pretty close family because we all have fears and we all mess up as moms. But if you are open with the kids, I think it makes the mess up less painful.
Yeah, and they're watching you.
Yeah,
One thing, it's not about your words, don't drink and drive. And if they see you drinking and driving, then they're going to
right,
do it, right?
right.
So, one thing I realize is I have to live by my morals, and because they're watching. And so if they watch you mess up and then they watch you apologize or they watch you learn from your mess ups, I think that's so powerful.
Yes. Oh, that's so wise. I just love that. I love Jay said you were a great mom and so
So
true. Now, he mentioned Shark Tank. He said you got to ask her about Shark Tank. Did that go anywhere?
So we've auditioned twice.
Right.
The second time we made it to the second round, we dressed Luke up in a rhino suit, a big blow up rhino suit. He loved it. Great. And we sent a video in and we didn't make it to the third round.
Wow.
But we've applied this year, but this year is because of COVID, they're doing, there's not like a big lineup where you can go and audition.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you give them some of your sauce to taste test, or is it just first a video?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Have you gotten any
so
feedback?
we go to Dallas. Oh, this year, no, it's just submitting online
Okay.
and just telling them who you are, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah. How do you get your boys? My kids I've got some kids that are very outgoing. I've got 5 kids and two of them are very shy. They do not like the camera at all. The other 3 could care less. They love everything. How did you've got 3 different personalities on your
so
YouTube.
different.
How do you, I mean, these are such good life skills. Public speaking, one of the things we fear the most. How did your boys come to you and say, Mom, I'm ready? Or did you say, now guys, in order to make this work, we've got to have a YouTube channel?
Well, when we started the YouTube channel, we had already, presented to different, we had presented on stage to HEB, which was a huge deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know, we were we're the grand champions of HEB Quest for Texas Best for 2019.
Wow.
So yeah, so we had to go and present in front of all these judges. We spent a month, rehearsing, and and we just made it work. So, and I think being in the church choir and being in theater, they just kind of, it was a second nature for them.
Yeah.
But my oldest is very shy, and he's not, he doesn't love speaking in public, but he's gotten over it. And, he just knows that, I think all 3 of the boys know that our mission, we started this out for, to raise money for rhino conservation.
For
and
cause,
then we brought on the wolf. So I think we just always go back to our why. And so, they understand that in order for us to achieve our mission, we have to present, and and there's just certain things that we have to do.
That's so cool. What do they want to do when they grow up? Do you guys talk about it, or are they just kind of living life right now? Or are they already thinking, okay, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be doing this?
Well, the oldest wants to be an astrobiologist. So
I figured he seems very smart. Yes.
Yeah. And so Luke is studying business in school, so he'll probably go into business.
Right.
Or else he actually wants to design video games. One of those.
So many kids want to design video games. That's like a dream job. And it's such a growing industry that they'll find work for sure.
Yeah. And George could, George is my right hand a lot of times. He's so creative. He's great at marketing. I think that, he would go into business as well, or else, and he's doing great with theater. So he kind of is toying with the idea of being an actor.
Being an actor, he does look kind of like a model. So I mean, you've got the whole gamut there. That's pretty amazing. When you think about being a mom and now a single mom, what do you and you do pray. So what are your prayers for your kids? I fast on Mondays and Fridays, and when I'm getting really uncomfortable, and that's because those are 2 stressful days for me, the days that I want to emotionally eat. So those are the days that I pick to fast until 5. And sometimes, man, it is a struggle. I'm like, why did I do this? And then I go and I remember my mission, because I want to pray for the issues in my kids' lives. So if I messed up, if they're messing up, whatever, that their just heart is filled with the knowledge that they can glorify God. That's what I pray for, whatever it is, whatever their mission is in life. How do you get through your day praying or helping your kids, because they're getting older and soon you'll be a mom of adult kids too?
I know. I pray that whatever path they take, that they follow God's path and that they're happy.
Yeah.
I just want them, I want them to be happy.
Yeah. Do you talk to them about your dreams, like the way it is as being a mom of these boys? Because the mother-son relationship is so powerful in the wives that they choose, right? Just like the father-daughter relationship and the husbands that daughters choose. I ended up with one girl, and I love her husband, and he's so much like my husband. It's kind of crazy. But the boys, I remember since they were little, Tracy, I've been praying for their wives. And two of
Yes.
them, one, two, three of them are married. And wait, no, two of them have a wife. The other two, I'm still praying for their wives. And I just adore their wives. They fit perfectly into the family.
That's
And they're
awesome.
nothing like me.
Oh,
My husband,
really?
my boys went the other direction, totally the other direction. They're very calm. Their wives are very calm. They're both nurses, as a matter of fact. It's amazing.
Oh, the angels, especially right now, the angels of the world. Yeah.
Yes,
God
they
bless
are
them. God bless
mature, wise women. So with your boys and you, what do you plan on doing before they, get out? And I'm sure they're going to go to college. Between now and then, how are you going to continue with this incredible company?
So, well, I do pray for their wives, by the way.
Yes, see?
It's funny that you asked me that because I do pray that they find, a partner that's a friend,
Yeah, yeah,
a friend and a true partner. And then, we will continue to grow this company side by side. And I want to, of course, always encourage school first
yeah.
because, that's most important. So, whatever we do, if we have a late night, I'll definitely, take them and go do your schoolwork and mom will finish up, whatever work needs to be done.
Right, right.
So yeah. So for me, I want them to follow their path. If their path is continuing on with 3SonsFoods, then that's awesome. I'm very happy.
What do their friends say about it? I mean, do you get the friends involved in working with you guys? I'd imagine you might have some bottling parties.
Oh my gosh, we've had their friends, unload pallets of sauce. I mean, if you're here, you're helping.
Yep, yep.
And I'll just say, welcome to the family, welcome to family business. But no, I mean, their friends get, a free jar of sauce if they help out and things like that. But no, definitely their friends have helped. I think their friends think it's unique.
Yeah,
There's not that many families in our neighborhood that do what we do.
right,
I don't think
right.
any families in our neighborhood do what we do.
It's just the coolest idea and so delicious. And what chips do you now, since you create this sauce with fresh ingredients that are really healthy, what chips do you recommend to dip into your sauce? You must have your favorite.
You know what? We do use the siete. Luke does better with a gluten-free diet, and our
Uh-huh.
sauce is gluten-free as well. So
Right.
we do use a siete. And then, basically, if we're sampling, we'll use those, we'll just use any chips.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a great question.
But you're not particular. They're so good that any chip will do.
Any triple, and here's the thing. So most people will buy our sauce as a cooking sauce. It is a salsa, but the thing is, like I'll put it on my eggs in the morning and I'll use it as a salad dressing and I'll throw it on, I'll stir fry some vegetables with some shrimp and throw some sauce on top of it. So mostly we use it as a cooking sauce more than a dip. Of course, it's a
Excellent.
great vegetable dip and chip dip as well.
Yes, yes. That is so good. And the YouTubes, you've got some of what is your favorite recipe, which you think your sauce is a perfect mix?
The baked salmon. So I'll bake salmon at
Oh,
350 for 30 minutes, take it
right.
out of the oven, pour Diablo on top, stick it back in for 5 minutes, serve it with like some quinoa or some rice and a side salad. That's really good. And then the easiest thing I do, well, besides the layered enchiladas, those are really good. But the easiest thing I do with it is like leftover rice, chicken, vegetables, Diablo in the microwave, couch, remote. You've got one bowl to clean up. So
That
that
sounds amazing.
is, yeah.
I wish I had some to eat right now, but I will get
It's
my Diablo. I will. And
it's
I have
on
to
the
ask
way.
you, I'm so excited. I can't, Jay was like, yes. What advice, you go through stressful times, you had this idea to start this company, then you're hit with this, whoa, getting a divorce, but yet you carried on, you persevered. What advice do you give to women who are struggling, who are feeling down, and they've just been hit with some news that, not making their life very easy?
You know, I think no matter what, um, God gives us everything that we need in this life. and if you go back to that, he doesn't give you anything that you're not strong enough to handle.
Right.
And, if you are in a situation that's uneasy or that you're unhappy with, you take a step, and then you take another step and another step. And it's just one day at a time. And nothing will change unless you take that first step. So
A strong mom creates strong men. And you're definitely a strong mom, Traci. I love that. That is such good advice.
thank you.
I
Thank
just
you
love
very
it.
much.
I love it. And I know that you guys will continue to do amazing. When I heard that your son was all about rhinos, I was like, that's amazing. And that's a good inspiration for other kids. Yeah, you're not too young to do something to change the world. Anybody can.
Right, right. And you're not too old either. I mean, I was,
True,
hold on,
true.
I was 45 when I started this. So, whatever age you are, it doesn't matter. If it means going back to school at, 50 or 55, go back to school. I mean, we live in a great country
Right.
where there's so many possibilities,
Yeah. Yeah.
and really, our Diablo fans, we have had so much support, and I couldn't have done it without them. But they every time I get an email or an Instagram message or something, or wow, this is great, or I love your sauce. I mean, it just encourages me so much. It means so much to me. And
I
so
have to say that when people give a compliment, they don't even understand that this could have been the worst day of our lives. That compliment is exactly the pat on the back we needed to make it 6 more months down the road. So don't be generous in complimenting people. If you love that Diablo sauce, please let Traci know. That it really is such a great encouragement.
yeah, it really, it makes a difference. Chef Adrian actually reached out to me the other day, and it was just I had a bad day, and it was just so wonderful to hear from him.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was and just different people. It means so much. And especially in this world of social media, passing around some positivity, it doesn't cost anything.
Right. It's so true. So true. Well, tell us how people can find you. Instagram, where are you? We talked about your YouTube.
Yes. So we're on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest at 3SonsFoods, and also YouTube. So you can buy our sauce definitely at HEB, Walmart, Albertsons,
Wow.
Fresh Time, Randall's, and Tom Thumb, and Amazon, and definitely on our website, 3sonsfoods.com.
That is amazing, Traci. Just a delight to talk to you. And you're in Katy, right? That's where you are. You guys live in the Katy area. Yeah, because I know that HEB on Pin Oak. I love that area. Katy Mills
Oh,
Mall. Love it. Well, I am
yes.
so glad I got to chat with you. Can't wait to taste test your sauce. And I will be putting some on that salmon. I make dinner for my parents every night. We will definitely check it out. Now, they're from Vermont, and it took my dad a long time to like the cilantro flavor. He
Okay.
hated it at first. So I will introduce it to him gently, okay?
Okay, do the mild with the salmon, and
Perfect.
he'll
Okay.
love it. He'll love it. I've changed some non-cilantro people, many non-cilantro people.
Excellent, because it's so good for you. It really is. Just a delight to talk with you, Traci. Thank you for sharing some of your time and your delicious Diablo sauce and your 3 sons.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless you as well. Thanks again, and thank you for listening. We'll be
Thank
in
you.
touch.
Okay, bye.